Hey, morning, Mr. Woo.
Hi, morning.
It's been a couple of days now.
Yeah,
Before we get into it with the next camera, I heard that you might be on a little trip to Europe.
yeah. I'll be traveling from 17 to 22nd for one of their global training. So it would be something of a homecoming for me because I've been in and out of that German factory 4 or 5 times already. So first time I've been there, they were at Soms. So when you visit the factory at that time, we actually had the privilege to actually walk into the actual factory floor. When they take us around, we walk around where they build the things. Now they moved back to the original city Westla in a very big modern facility. And if you do visit the factory now, they make big window glass like an aquarium, and you just peer from outside and try to look what's inside, but you don't actually walk into the floor. But they do have a very good section where they have the Leica Museum. They display nearly every piece of equipment that they make. So if they make 30 lenses, they got 30 cameras fitted to the lenses. So, and all the drawings and all the original sketches. So the museum part was more elaborate than the old factory. The old factory, they just stuck all the camera on the wall and they call it the family tree. My first visit to the factory, I had a chance to see the original Leica. They took out the original Leica, the Leica where Oscar Banach made, and put it in our hands. So I managed to get a photo of myself with that. And then at one time in Malaysia, when the contract for the agency changed hands, and so we do a new show, I also requested for the replica to be sent to us. So my friend, my good friend, the area manager, Mr. Abby Kuhner, so he brought, hand carried that original camera. He put it inside the Santa Claus socks and passed it to me. And then he told me, my company insured it for 6 million Deutschmark. At that time, they were not yet trading in the euro. So when I heard that, I told my boss, we better hire an armed guard to look after the thing. So I got a armed guard, look after the thing. In the showcase, I only put one item, that camera. So that was the original camera.
Oh,
So
great.
I've been there for a few photo cleaners, a few factory visits. So this time it's like going back home.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Well, okay, we're gonna miss you, but what do we got here today?
Okay, today I got this British messenger bag from the saddle bag maker, bicycle saddle maker. So inside here, I got a bag in a bag. So here I keep my three twin lens cameras. I have three lens cameras here. This is the gray one from the Czech Republic, and the two black Mamiya from Japan. So I got, yeah. So I got two Mamiyas here, and I got one. This gray color is interesting. This is a meopta. Meopta, the model is a flexaret automat. At first, I didn't know they make camera. I only know they make darkroom enlarger. Then later, I found out that they make twin lens camera. So I got one of these. You got a strange way to focus. It's like a pendulum. You swing. When you swing, the lens will go in and out to focus. Not the only camera that use this, but some other camera, if I'm not wrong, maybe one of the early Minolta or Olympus, they do that. So, but what is different on this camera is that if there's no film in the camera, you can't cock the shutter, it won't work, you know. It won't allow you to click. I have put a dummy film so you can click. And they have an interesting way to load. Most twin lens, you got to unlock from the bottom, and this will swing out. So that means you got to take it out from the tripod, you hold it in your hand and swing out. This one different. You know, those big prime movers, the lorry, the big one, when they want to check the engine, they got a switch at a lever at the back, and the whole driver cabin tilts out to expose the engine. This is somewhat like that. So when you do that, they got a later safety catch here. You unscrew this, like unscrewing the crown of a watch. Then when you unscrew it far enough, you give a press, and this little door will swing out like that. So this part can remain on a tripod. So the whole camera top comes out like that, and that will give you access to the loading area, the film and the take up. That's what I meant. Very, very odd way of opening it. So once you load it in, you press it, and then you screw in the crown, so you can't accidentally open it. So I find this is quite different. And on this camera, they already make it to operate on the medium format film 120, but you can also put 35 film, and the frame counter is already made that way. So depending on what film you put, then this dial will change. The dial will change. You will sense what film you are using, and the frame counter will move accordingly. So you can also put 35 millimeter film. I like the gray color of the leather, look nice. Now of course you have your waist level finder with a grid line, and also the frame for the 35 frame is already marked for you. It's a portrait mode, so you can see vertical marking. Then you focus here, you wind, then you wind, you will stop, then you click. Then this is your magnifier. Yeah, you flip up the magnifier. Take a closer view, take it away. If you want to take a peep, you can put out the flap. Yeah. So this flap, so you can take a peep after you have made all the adjustment. Again, they also got another hole here. This for the 35 vertical frame. So you have this meopta flexaret. Okay, this from Czech Republic. Then we have the Mamiya. Okay, most people who, when we mention Mamiya, you know about the huge 6x7 single lens reflex, the Mamiya RB. And some would also know the Mamiya with the changeable lens. But this is much earlier, where they have the non-changeable ones. So this is an early one with a gear focusing. So you focus on the top, you turn the gear. This gear will also move the bottom lens in tandem, so they focus together. So flip up the finder. This finder is a plain ground glass, no lines, nothing. So very easy, very good finder. Focusing is by this wheel. Then you focus. You trip the shutter. This is a cell timer. Got the frame counter. And this loading is more conventional. So you unscrew, and then this flap comes over here. So you load, put the film here, pull it over the take-out spool, then close the back. There's a red window here for you to align the first frame, line it up, line to the first frame. Then after that, the frame counter will take over. Also, you have the magnifier, and then you can have the sports finder. You can look directly. Like most magnifier, this type only allow you to take 12 pictures in a row, 12. This is a more advanced version. So this time they have a helical focusing. So you focus on the wheel here, the whole thing goes in and out. At that time, the filter size, they're quite common. So you see here, I got a Rolleiflex lens hood, the same hood for the Rolleicord, and then the filter, the B30. And this time, they got two dials here, one for aperture, one for shutter speed. Okay, no meter. use a handheld meter or follow the exposure guide at the back. So Mamiya. So all this my twin lens camera. And then I got the beast of the twin lens, the Mamiya C33, heavy camera, solid camera. One of the few twin lens camera that allow you to change lens, so the lens is interchangeable. You can take out. The lens come in a pair. This for viewing, this for taking, and the shutter is there. So you can change lens from 80, 50, 180, and so on. This is not the only camera twin lens that allow you to change lens. There were others, but not many. Maybe one of them is Connie Reflex. And there's one American camera which I don't have, I heard, but I read about. There's a famous American glamour photographer, Peter Golan. He liked the many cameras, but he found that some cameras were limiting, you know. He wanted to do some things, but the camera couldn't do. So what happened is he became a camera inventor himself. He handmade some cameras. So one of the cameras that he made was a twin lens reflex camera using 4x5 sheet film. So it's a monster of a camera. And he even made another one, bigger one, 8x10 twin lens reflex camera. So it takes 8x10 size film. So then he made a few others, and some of the other famous photographers also bought those cameras from him. I think I remember one of them is the Yusuf Kash, Canadian photographer, who is famous for taking the portrait of Winston Churchill. Whenever you see a portrait of Winston Churchill with the kind of a look, that one was taken by Yusuf Kash. And how he got it was, Churchill was always having a cigar in his mouth. And when he set up everything, and he didn't like the cigar there, what he did, he went up to him and plucked the cigar out of his face. And then when he plucked the cigar out of his face, then Churchill got that expression, you know, he was not quite happy with it. And then he made the exposure. And that was the most iconic picture of Winston Churchill. So he also used one of Peter Golan's camera. So this one, yeah, this is the most popular twin lens camera with changeable lens that I know. This one was the heavy one. They have maybe earlier C22 and C33, was everything very heavy. They also have a built-in bellow. So when you crank, the focusing either on the left or the right, it allows you to go very near. It means that without any attachment, you can take close up. But like all the twin lens have this parallax problem. So you try to focus near, this lens is having a different viewpoint from this. So if you are not careful, you compose it right on the top, but when the picture come out, maybe the head is got chopped off or something like that. So to overcome that, what they have put inside the camera is an indicator. So as you rack the bellow, you see this bar here. This bar moves up and down to give you the correction for the parallax. So as you go nearer, you frame within this bar. So your thing you won't get the thing chopped off. So this is the finder, solid finder with 4 flaps with the magnifier and the frame for sports finder. So this first one, the screen is not so easy to change. You have to remove the screws and then take out the glass. The later model, you can actually just change the screen straight away. So when you can take out this one, you also can put in a prism finder. So it look like SLR, you look through directly. So, but most of the time, we prefer to use this as waist level. Then, unlike the other twin lens, this type of twin lens, you usually have a L-shaped film path. The film goes here, it bends over that and goes straight. So if you keep it in one position for a long time, this film will take up the curve. So when it come over here, it may not be absolutely flat. So that's one small shortcoming. So on this one, what they do to overcome that, they have a straight firm path. You notice? There's no L. It's just straight, one end to one end, straight. So that prevent the film from curling. So you find this is very new because the old one actually gone, already worn out. I think I still have the old one here. Yeah. The old one is this. Already worn out. So I got a friend who is in the printing business or making badges, and he got a good scanner and he got a laser machine. So he took this, he scanned it, and he used the graphics to make it neat. And then he printed it on a new material with a sticker, with a good 3M sticker. So this one make to the original size, and I stick it here. So now it look good like new. So whenever my old camera, anything is facing out, I get my good friend to restore it. So I also doing small thing like camera detailing, make it look new again. So this one is Mamiya, very robust, very strong. Then of course later on they have the Mamiya RB67. Then that one become more popular. The twin lens faded off to the background. Then everybody use the twin lens, single lens reflex. Maybe one day I bring that monster here.
Okay, great. Wow, this is fascinating. Especially I like this Czechoslovakian one.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Hey, how about bringing a seagull next time?
Oh, I have to wait, or I had to ask my friends to have it. So I didn't have a cigar. I used to use a Rolleiflex in my first place of work, but then at the moment I don't have one. I can get some.
Well,
of my friends
we'll get
yeah,
one because
get
I think this TLR is fascinating. And some of the guys would be really, really interested in TLRs because we all used them in high school. You know, when we first took our photography class, we were all given like a Yashica.
Yeah, Yashica Mat. Yashica Mat
that's where I learned how. Okay, well, you have a good trip, Mr. Woo, to Germany, and maybe you can take some pictures, and you can send them me, and then we'll insert them for our next whatever our next review, and we'll take a look at if you want discuss some of the new Leica stuff that they got.
Yeah.
Okay, Mr. Woo, thanks.
Right.
Have a good trip. Bye bye.